And hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Lost Towers of Ambrosia Agents. We are here to, well, maybe not die. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But before we dive into all this good stuff, we're going to go around this virtual table and introduce ourselves. My name is Lucas. My pronouns are he, him. Brianna. Jess. Natalie. And Taryn. Basically, how this game is going to work is we have our 4 agents. Their departments that they work in and the cursed items that they're being given for the mission are all going to be randomly determined, as well as the mission itself, the mission location, and whatever creature, cursed entity thing happening is going to go on. That means my job is to take all the chaos, put it in this tiny little sphere, and then I throw it out into the field and they chase after it, and I hope the story happens.
It's good. Something's gonna happen, that's for sure.
There are 4 stats that our agents are going to be primarily using in this game. Now, they'll have 7 points to distribute between these 4 stats. We have face punching, just hitting things, surviving, a lot of physical endurance. There is science, that's your ability to use computers, understanding chemistry, physics, biology. It's science. You know what science is. And then there's occultism. That's not science. That's just believing in all the weird stuff and reading a lot of stuff that's pretty weird. And if you fail that one, oh buddy. And then we have the last stat, cursed item. This is the person being able to pull from this cursed item's energy that they're going to be given for the mission. They will each individually receive one, and we will see how that works. All the players will have 5 hit points for the character. However many points they put into face punching will increase their hit points. But sometimes that still doesn't matter, because how the rolls work is that they will all be rolling a d12. That's right, I'm not kind like Powered by the Apocalypse. They are getting 1 die, which means that there is a big chance for failure. So, 1 to 6, it doesn't go as planned. 7 to 9, not so bad. And 10 plus, flawless. They will be able to add the appropriate stat that they put points into to whatever it is they're doing. So if they're rushing up to a cursed entity and they're trying to hit it over the head with a bar stool, they're going to be rolling that face punching stat, adding it to their D12 and seeing how it goes. Now, there's another thing that people can do, and that's giving in to their cursed item. What is a game without a little bit of sacrifice? So a player can sacrifice things for their character. That's memories, their body parts, just really anything. Just anything to fuel it of them. It can't be from anyone else. Maybe if you do a really big ritual, but I doubt you'll have the time. So really, that's what's going to be happening, is that they have these cursed items heading off on a mission, and those are their stats. So let's go ahead and roll some dice to determine what the hell's going on. First off, let's roll everyone's department, as well as see what item that they will be given to help our players craft up their characters. So let's go ahead. Jess, could you roll me 2 percentages?
Yes. I got 60 and 30.
All right, 60. You are in the Office of Reality Altering Coffee Makers. That's your department.
Oh, okay.
And 30. All right. The Malformed Teddy Bear. It's known to possess people and cause them to commit acts of extreme violence and inflict fear upon others.
Okay. I'm like a really intense barista.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, damn. All right. Brianna, do you want to roll me 2 sets of percentile?
Yeah. So that's 60 and 30.
Roll.
So I need to re-roll that.
Yeah, roll those because those have been chosen. We need the variety.
There we go. 40. I rolled the 30 twice.
Okay. So you are in The Department of Sentient Wallpaper and Other Wrappings. And what did you get for your item?
40.
Bum, 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 bum. The Dollhouse of Horrors. The dolls will reenact gruesome scenes.
Love that for me. That's not just nightmare fuel at all.
All right. Taryn, would you like to roll me 2 percentile?
Certainly, now that I am done being distracted by the household dog. Okay. 2 percentiles. I rolled them in average because I don't really have good.
All good.
Alright, the first one is going to be a 68 for the department.
Okay.
And a 12 for the cursed item.
All right. You are in the division of time-traveling hamsters.
Time-traveling hamsters. Okay.
For your item, it is the Bleeding Quill. Writes ominous prophecies in human blood.
Oof. Okay.
All right. Natalie, I need 2 percentile.
All right, the first one is 21.
21. Okay.
And the second one is 40.
So you're in the Department of Paranormal Filing Cabinets. And you said 40?
40.
Could you roll that again?
Yes.
That's the dollhouse one.
We can't share horrors. I'm sorry.
Oh, I want to play
The Nightmare
Dollhouse. Oh.
is mine. You can't have it.
75.
75.
One cursed item per one person.
All right, let's see. You have... That's kind of a little too close. Let's do one up. Oh, this is fun. You have a laughing shadow.
Oh, I love that.
This laughing shadow
that's
tends
cool.
to possess those in its presence, making them laugh maniacally to the point where they can't breathe anymore.
Oh no.
What was my department again?
I just said it. I can't
I know,
remember.
Cursed filing cabinet.
Cursed filing
cabinet.
cabinet.
That sounds right,
yes.
I part of me is just like imagining the people who have to run payroll for this, the bookkeepers just
Yeah, there are so
hopefully
many.
they don't end up with any of those cursed filing cabinets.
Because a lot of this stuff is basically what the Lost Tower of Ambrosia Agency, the LTA, what they've been collecting around the world. And where are their people? Quite often, offices. And they'll have these things. So it's offices and homes that are the most common to have these cursed items. But let's not stop there. While you're creating these lovely scenarios, I am... Let's see here... I am going to get each of you to roll me 1 more percentile each. And this will determine our scenario, location, creature. So, Brianna.
97.
Oh. Oh, no.
Never good.
An auto repair shop. This is going to be happening in.
Okay.
Jess?
I got a 99.
Oh, mythical creature. All right, you'll be facing off with a plant version of a certain mythical creature. Taryn, what'd you get?
Do something that starts with B and requires water. He is not interested, and I got a 14.
14. This is a plant-based Cyclops. Nice.
Oh, wow.
All right, and Natalie?
This is gonna be great, guys.
I
It's
got
gonna
a
be
5.
A 5. Oh, let's see.
great.
All right, it is a plant-based Cyclops at the auto repair shop that is trying to consume as many people so that I can grow large enough to punch the moon. That is its current goal. So, that is the mission that you're going to be dealing with. And I will give you all just a second to finish wrapping up your characters. Just let me know when you're all good to go. Meanwhile, I will talk to the dear lovely people here. So our agents are going to be basically shipped out there in a very state-of-the-art, amazing device that will propel them through space and time. Not really time, but more space. But before all that happens, we have a lovely little intro here while they create their characters. Present-day Earth. The LTA stands as the last line of defense against the cursed creations that threaten to overwhelm our world. Trained to the best of your abilities, you, as agents, navigate the bizarre and unpredictable nature of cursed entities. Recruitment into the agency came through your harrowing encounters with these inexplicable phenomena, making you both a defender and potentially a victim of the cursed forces that plague our reality. The LTA's mission is clear. Protect the planet, halt the encroaching darkness, and prevent the world from being consumed by these otherworldly horrors. In a world where training for such encounters is a challenge, the agency relies on the wisdom of fortune tellers, soothsayers, and precog experts, though often unreliable, to predict where the next attack will strike. As agents, your field work is a delicate dance with the unknown, armed not only with your training but with a random cursed item assigned to you. But beware, for lingering too long with a single artifact risks its curse seeping into your very existence, turning you, yourself, into a cursed entity. Brace yourself, agents, as you embark on a mission that could very well be your last. Welcome to the Lost Tower of Ambrosia. May you be the force that brings a better tomorrow. How are you all with your character creation? Is everybody set?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So,
Yep, I've got it.
the briefing room. You all enter into this large briefing room. An oval table takes up most of the space, surrounded by chairs. And on one side of the room is this wall composed of a large screen. It displaying images of your mission along with text lazily floating along, with certain parts of the screen describing the casualties and damages they're already facing. Special Agent Kyle of Kyle Corp steps in, adjusting his bolo tie that's covered with tiny lobster claws. He's wearing a suit that is the same style as all of yours, except it's made to look like it's composed of birthday or Christmas wrapping paper, surprisingly not ripping when he moves. He's also wearing large star-shaped sunglasses and croc cowboy boots as he spins round to all of you. Welcome, agents, to the LTA. Please have a seat. I have to tell you about what's happening here.
Of course.
Now, agents, I don't know who you are, and frankly, that is my responsibility, so we're going to go around this little table, and you're going to introduce yourselves while I make myself a coffee. And let's go around the table, and each of you can introduce your agent that you created. Let's start off with Brianna.
My agent, her name is Alyssa. She wants to get to be a department head because that is more paperwork than having to, actually go out and deal with all these sentient wrappings. And whenever she's in a room, she is pointedly staying away from all of the walls because she's learned. She knows better.
Fantastic. Jess.
Hi. Just an evening of technical difficulties. You see at the cable, giving Kyle, while he's making his little instant coffee, just the worst look. You see the most tired barista you've ever seen in your life. Probably late 40s, just tired. Looks like she's worked a double. She's got the green apron on, and she's got a little name tag, and it says Amber. And this is Amber, one of the away agents for the Office of Reality Warping coffee machines. And her job is to infiltrate coffee shops that have been infected and try to resolve the issue. And she looks so tired and is wearing just the thickest eyeliner. And she's wearing a little backpack, and it's like a little stuffed bear. And she's just like, I'm Amber. That's all you need to know. Actually, the less you know, the better.
Taryn.
Or the hamster's in the middle of the watch face. And this is Miri Linden.
I don't think Alyssa intentionally brings the dollhouse anywhere. It's just always there.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Wherever she is.
Yeah, it's just, if she starts to turn around, it's just right there.
It like follows her around.
Yeah.
That's
She
fun
just
and normal.
tries not to think about it too much.
Sorry about all that. Natalie.
All right, well, just kind of sitting there at the table, is just happy as could be to be there. It's Greta. Greta's just that average woman who's a secretary everywhere. You've seen her before. You don't know where, but she's there. She became part of the tower when she was going through one of those other file cabinets, those big ones that they roll back and forth. And it kind of just
yeah.
sandwiched her.
Hmm.
Not in a bad way. She's like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. And then when the agents came to get her, she's like, oh, can I join you? I like this one. It was very nice. And so she thinks every first filing cabinet, it has a personality. And she likes to go through them. And they don't hurt her that much. It's okay, Sometimes you just need a little whack to, pull that door. Oh, it's fine. She loves her job.
Love it. All right. So as all of you finish introducing yourselves, Kyle is throwing out, he put way too much creamer into this, and now he's staring down at this coffee, eye twitching. Right. Okay.
Oh, no.
Now that I know all of you, and I'm sure you'll make it through all these missions as everyone else has a tendency to do, I have to tell you about what you're going to be facing. We have something that's threat level Gorgon. Is it a Gorgon? No. Not since Tuesday have we seen a Gorgon. Now, things have been ramping up. They've been getting a little buck wild. But, good news, you're only facing a Cyclops. And it's made out of
That's
plants.
Oh. And
A
Greta's like,
plant-based Cyclops.
she kind of drops something down real fast and then shakes her head because she forgot that she's not supposed to do that, and kind of crumples it up and throws it somewhere.
This little creature, it's got two very large human feet in its head and two long noodly arms, comes scurrying out from underneath the oval table and grabs what you crumpled up and eats it, and then scurries back. It has these tiny little black beady eyes.
Oh,
Don't mind them, they just eat the things that we don't need, like corpses. Alright.
Right.
So, there's this plant Cyclops. It's going all buck wild. It's trying to eat everyone until it can grow big enough to punch the moon. Classic. That's where you all come in. Now we've fueled up the station wagon, and it should be good enough to go to take you. I think it's currently eating people at an auto repair shop.
So
Oh,
it's just
lovely.
scarfing him down to get as big as possible.
Oh, yes, and some of them it's been tying up with roots and consuming them that way like a human Slurpee.
Ew.
I've never heard of that one before. Huh. I'll have to remember that.
If it's tying things up, wrappings are part of my specialty.
Perfect. I'm sure that's why you've been brought here. As he's flipping through this notebook, and there's so many agents' names crossed out. No. Oh, perfect. Now, I'm going to go and force someone else to make me a coffee because this is the first time I tried and it was terrible.
Oh, no.
It doesn't get better.
Well, are you agents ready?
Let's do this.
Ready as we're ever gonna be.
And he presses a button and then accidentally spills this coffee all over the table. And as the button gets pressed, all of your chairs just go up vertical and straight, and you fall through the ground. And you're going down these tubes, you're going through the tower, and eventually all of you flung out of the tubes, and you land in this ball pit, where you see off to the side of the ball pit there is an incredibly old-looking station wagon. Like, this thing shouldn't be running. It's not well taken care of. There might be a small fire under the hood. There's definitely smoke, and it's ready. And you know this is the agency station wagon. It somehow always gets you to where you need to go.
Shotgun.
I'm not driving this one. Something that the seat cover in the driver's seat doesn't like me very much.
Oh no! Is that the case? All right, look. If y'all don't want to drive, here.
And I'm trudging out of the ball pit, and I'm like, no, Mr. Buttons, no. We can get Slurpees afterwards. He was saying the people were Slurpees. We're not gonna, no, okay, we're on a mission. You're the one who wanted to do this on my day off, so we're gonna get in the car. Then I get in the car, and I'm like, what?
You okay, dear?
I'm right as rain.
Everybody, you gotta load on in. The car says through this pained voice that you hear.
Hey there, car. How you doing?
It's just another day where I haven't died.
That's a good way to look at it. Yes, lovely.
Ain't nobody patched you up yet.
No. Every time they try to bring someone here, they end up getting eaten by the ball pit. I hope you all didn't fall in there.
It's fine. We have an understanding.
Look back at the ominously innocent ball pit.
You see there's like a bloody shoe that's just off to the side sticking out of it. Well, you know how ball pits are. Too many snakes. All right. Everyone get in.
Maybe once we're done stopping the Cyclops from eating people at the auto repair shop, we can get him to fix you up a bit.
Oh my god. No, yeah, that sounds great. I remember when I used to be a man. I was so obsessed with cars. I worked on them all day, all night. Then one day I looked in the mirror, and I saw that parts of my skin were starting to harden. I went to the doctor, and the car's starting up too, right? Well, you're all sitting in it and it's starting to move along.
Buckling up, you know.
Yep.
My teeth were being replaced with those little shitty buttons that never work when you're trying to mess with the radio, and you set a specific station with each of the buttons, but it never takes you to that station. And as my whole body was shifting, the doctor looked at me and said, "You just need more liquids and some rest." So there was that. And, yeah, lo and behold, a few days later, I'm a station wagon, and I'm able to get to where I need to be.
Sounds like docs speak for, what the heck am I looking at?
Probably. And as you're going, the station wagon is driving through this tunnel, and you're looking outside at the different parts of the tunnel, and it is just this void. And every so often you can see these shadow beings are moving in there, reaching towards the station wagon. But when its headlights go up, the shadows scream and move away. They're all crying out to you, begging for help as you're just puttering along in the station wagon. Every so often you hit like a boom, and someone screams. It's just, "Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I don't have insurance." And you continue along, and after a little bit of traveling through this, you start to hear the crunch of gravel, which then moves into this smooth asphalt as you are looking around, and you're in a town. It's a beautiful, quaint little town. You have a number of those little shops. There's always a gift shop. It's so nice. And you see, like, they have the trees that are set up along the sidewalks. Like, this place is actually taken care of. The road isn't just lines of asphalt that have been put down to fix the rest of the asphalt that broke, because it's going to break next year. And so you're actually going down these nice roads. You're like, what an idyllic little town. You see that there's a lot of, like, small businesses. But then you see it. Or I'd say first you hear it. You hear these crunching sounds and the shattering of glass and screaming of people. And you hear this roar as the car goes just slowly around the corner, obeying the laws of traffic. And you see that there is this Cyclops, this being, this great monstrosity. It is towering over this auto repair shop. Its skin is covered in moss, as you see that it's like picking up this one individual, and it opens up its mouth, and these roots are wriggling for where its teeth should be, and the roots stab into numerous parts of the person as it tears them apart and then just starts slurping them down. And then it starts trying to open up other places. You see people are screaming, people are running, the car stops, it's like, oh my god, and just kicks all of you out, and just speeds away.
The dollhouse was in the trunk the whole time. The dolls are currently reenacting what's happening right now. We all get kicked out. The dollhouse is just on the sidewalk next to me, and I am not looking at it.
That's right. You can hear this little voice going, "Come play." All right, agents. So you are in the center of this little town. You're about half a block away. People are screaming. People are running. Honestly, not a good time for most. And you're there with your cursed items. You were not trained for a Cyclops. Think of your training like, okay, you gotta run a couple miles, some weight training, the agility courses. And then there's this, as you're staring at this horrid monstrosity. And I will stress this again. You're all people. You're not the brave, powerful elven mage or anything like that. You are the human beings of Earth. What would you all like to do as you see this Cyclops just tearing into this small town?
Honestly, walk away. But
yeah, that is an option, 100%.
I deal with when the walls start talking to people and it's actually the wallpaper. Especially like around Christmas time with all the wrapping paper, things get weird around then. That's my time. This is a little bit too much. Unless I can find a bunch of wrapping paper and talk it into helping.
The little...
There's a gift shop.
Yeah, there is.
I get out.
Little town, so it would seem like there could be a gift shop.
There is, 100% there is.
Yeah. I get up and dust myself off, and I'm like, ugh, a quaint little town. And I'm like, all right, we got a plant Cyclops. What stops plants?
Fire.
Fire. Poison and fire. So,
yeah,
I can run distraction until we find some
Lucas,
fire.
What do I know? I put 3 into occult. What do I know about occult-like plants?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead, roll a d12, and add your 3, and let's see how you do.
7.
7. Let's take a look. I believe that's the not so bad one. 7 to 9, not so bad. You accomplish your task, but there's a minor drawback. You're looking up at this Plant Clops, which is the new name, and you're thinking about, all right, this creature. It's created out of plants. It's feeding on people, and you watch every time it's ripping in and eating somebody, it's growing. So it very much is relying on quick bursts of nutrients to immediately affect its system. Now, magical occult plants can grow exceedingly fast, but the opposite can happen to them too. If they are hit with something very adverse to it, it can cause them to be damaged very quickly. It absorbs and processes everything. So if you can just pump a bunch of chemicals in there, you might have a good time, or something might happen. You're not sure. But as you're doing this and you're looking, this one person is just running away from the Plant Clops and just shoulder checks right into you. And they're, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just, what? And then
Don't blame you.
They step on your second shadow.
Oh no.
And then they start laughing as they're like looking. I'm not laughing at you. I don't know what's going on. As they're trying to breathe in, but they just keep laughing as their face starts going red, and they're looking around at all of you. They're just laughing hysterically.
It's not your fault, friend.
Can I yank him out of Greta's shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What would you like to use?
I'll use punch things.
Sure.
Or face punching. And that's a 12.
All right. Oh, man. 12?
All right.
Yeah.
Let me just double check.
Alyssa's pointedly ignoring all of the giggling that's coming from the dollhouse. They love this.
All right, so a 12 is a full success. Let's go ahead and pull up this fun little list. So you rush up to this person. They're trapped in this shadow. They're laughing hysterically. Their face is just beet red. These veins are popping up. And you grab onto them and just lift them off the ground and then slam them down like off to the side so quickly. Everyone was stunned at how fast that happened. And you hear the voice of the teddy bear. Hit them harder. Just break their head open.
Nice.
I was gonna say it's kind of bad because Greta loves the occult, interesting things she reads about in her little, filing cabinets. And so she's not only used to like the cutesy things like Brianna's character and the dollhouse, and then the laughing like is nothing to her now. So she just kind of stood there like, oh, and the dollhouse is loud. She's like, oh.
All
There's
right.
so much blood in that dollhouse.
But the person's
I don't know
unconscious.
where
They're
it comes
breathing.
from.
They're
Yeah.
no longer laughing. You've successfully saved them.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I don't know if y'all see this, but when I slammed them down and heard that for just a second, the pupils in my eyes looked like buttons.
Oh, jeez.
I love it.
And I kind of shake it out and I'm like, not yet. Okay, so where are we at? And I'm kind of just propping this person up and look away.
I am going to, I think, I'm kind of torn at this point because you said they're unconscious, but they're at least breathing now.
Yeah, they're no longer laughing. They're unconscious. They're currently being propped up. It's a little Weekend at Bernie's moment for them. Except
Like,
not
if
dead.
as long as once they kind of get their oxygen level up, they should be fine, kind of thing.
Well, you were actually pretty surprised at that really good slam. Though it's probably going to take them a little bit. Amber really did a number on them, but they survived.
Right.
That's the most important part. Is the plant
And
clock
I don't
here?
feel
Yes.
like I don't feel like if I don't attend them immediately, they're gonna.
Yeah, they're all right. They probably have a concussion. It's not great, but it's.
I want to go and look and see if I can find a place that has, like, pesticides.
Okay. So you're going to start rushing off, looking through stores. How about the rest of you?
Start looking to see, because it's an auto repair shop, so they're gonna have like fuel and oil, and that shit's flammable.
Chemicals,
Like cleanup supplies
wiper fluid.
won't be good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, on the same lines, we're all gonna go like, well, I feel like Greta feels bad, like, don't split up the party, don't split up the party, and so she'll follow off into that the general store direction to look for wrapping paper and any other things with Heron's
Yeah.
character.
I think I'm imagining Alyssa and Amber, because I'm a barista, I know how to make concoctions. We're just combining chemicals in like really big buckets.
Love it.
I've dealt with wallpaper that's seen shit before, so I'm just like,
What is skin but human wallpaper?
exactly. Not all wrapping material is sentient, but you would be surprised how much of it will talk back if you talk to it.
Oh yeah.
So Alyssa's absolutely the person that you'll see like doing tours of people's homes and just starts talking to a wall.
Love it.
That are loose at Home Depot. She gets all kinds of secrets.
Okay.
I think that's actually
Wow.
where she got started.
So just that I'm clear on everyone's situation, we have... Let me pull up the character names again. We have Miri is heading off to go look through some of the stores to go find some like pesticides or all that kind of good stuff. We have Greta. Who did you head with?
I went with Mary.
Okay, you're going with Miri. Amber and Alyssa, you two are heading towards the auto repair shop, see if there's anything you can use.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start off first with Miri and Greta. You two are rushing off. You're looking at stores. You're seeing all sorts. You know, there's some restaurants that are set up. You find the gift shop. You see, eventually, there is this little gardening center. It's one of the fun outdoor ones. They close in July.
Perfect.
Why? You know, there's still more summer. But anyways, it's not July yet, so it's still open. And there's someone 100% still just attending the little shop there. You see, like, in the distance, the plant clops is just ripping people in half above it and, like, letting the blood go down on it as it's screaming at the moon. So you see this individual look up. Oh, hey. Yeah. Hi. How can I help you?
We need to get your strongest pesticides.
Oh, pesticides. Not great for the environment, you know.
No, but I kind of gesture towards the plant crops. Like,
oh, when did that start?
There's that to deal with.
You know, I heard the broadcast, and I was telling my coworkers, oh, we got to do something about this, and they all said, well, can you cover our shift while we go check it out? And I said, no problem. And so here I am, 3 people shift.
Oh, no. Well,
not a lot of customers, though. It's weird.
Yeah, I would imagine people are trying to stay away from that. But
is it because the roots that go underground and they're draining people of their blood? Like this one?
Like that.
Like this one here? And she points and there's this root that is just stabbed into her side. It is just draining the blood into it. Feeling a little cold.
It's reached out that far. Okay.
You know, why don't we get some of the pesticide and sprinkle it on that root and see what happens?
Okay, well, I got first I have to tell you about our specials today on the pesticides. She's gripping this counter hard.
Okay, let me just look through.
So you're looking for pesticides, correct?
Yes.
When
Yes.
you're in there, this person has a giant root sticking out of their side. You're looking around, and why don't one of you roll me science?
Science. Okay.
That
For
way.
science. Yeah. 14. Damn.
All right, so you're looking at them. They have it's the worst names, like Plant Be Gone, or maybe not. As you're looking at it, it actually makes plants grow faster, and like you're like just like.
Oh my god,
things.
I am.
And there's there's one
looking
that's
at
just
the
called I
ingredients.
Love
I'm not
Plants.
even looking at the names.
Yeah, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, I Love Plants is the one where it just destroys all the plants. It's supposed to be a fun joke. So you grab a bunch of those and you rush over. And meanwhile, Greta, you are standing in front of this person and like, is your skin itchy?
Not normally. Is yours?
A little bit. And she starts scratching and she's pulling the skin off of her arm. And you see it's like bark underneath her arm.
Yeah, honey, you're not really supposed to itch it. You just gotta kind of rub it gently,
Like,
and then it will really come through.
And she's rubbing like the skin that's come off like back on the bark, like this.
Yeah, there you go, sweetheart. Good job.
Soak it in.
Okay.
You're gonna be just fine. Look how pretty your root is already looking. Look, it's kind of spreading.
Do you have an irrational hatred for the moon right now?
Not on a normal day either. You're just going through some changes right now. It's okay.
I hate the moon. Let me just. What's with all the little marks all over it, huh? What's the moon think it is? Some kind of celebrity that it's just getting all the autographs from the space junk that's flying up there?
There you go.
The moon did it again. It's stealing my internet.
And it's just
Stupid
it's always out
moon!
there, even in the daytime.
I was about to say, I think the feeling might be mutual.
I don't trust the moon. I don't trust anyone with moon in their name. Why are wolves always howling at it? Think about it. Because they're trying to warn us that the moon's up to something.
Might be
All right.
onto something. And I'm
I'm
like,
gonna follow this route away from the person because I don't want to do it too close to them. I'm thinking I'm not keen on
Yeah, you want to affect the root like
pesticide
further.
too
So
close.
okay. So
Yeah,
you're
farther away so that
All right, so we'll leave you two there as you're like starting to get ready to do this a little bit further away, and we head on over to Amber and Alyssa. You two are starting to creep up towards this auto shop, and you see that there's some people in there. They like have the garage door. I couldn't remember what that was called. Garage door like held down. They're screaming. They're hitting at roots that are trying to come into there while the Cyclops is attacking all these trailers. And for some reason, when everyone's like trying to run away, they're trying to run like through the Cyclops path. So they're just really feeding it. And now you can really hear the Cyclops grumbling. Goddamn moon. Always taunting me, telling me there'll be no sunlight. No, not for me. Doesn't it know I'm a daytime kind of plant? As it's and it takes this one person's like, I kind of like the man, and just crushes them as it absorbs them into its body.
Nasty.
So you see there's some people inside that are trying to fight back from the roots trying to get inside.
Hi,
Are there
we're professionals? We're here to help.
What?
I said
We're professionals.
we're here to help. We're trained in situations just like this. So let us in, let us see your shit, and we will figure something out.
It's an idyllic small town. The door isn't locked.
Choice. And I with, again, strength you wouldn't expect a tired barista to have. I open the garage door, and just enough so we can try to duck in.
We can use.
You've had to carry plenty of.
We can crush someone's head in the door. Just use it.
Jeez.
Exactly. And then
So when you rush in there, Alyssa, you like are helping close the door behind you, and you look off to your side, and there's the dollhouse is set up, and there's little you, and there's little Amber, and there's the people in there. You're seeing there's like these like felt roots that are like moving around, very silly, as they're like ripping people apart in the floor above, in like this little office spot. And you see like a lot of the felt roots are trying to come through the ceiling, and you look up and you don't see anything in the ceiling.
Cool. The roots are gonna try and come in from above. We need all of your chemicals and all of the things that can light stuff on fire, please.
Well, that's most things.
all right.
Cars are incredibly flammable, let me tell you.
All right. Everybody get into the car bays, because I'm assuming if it's an auto shop, it's got like the bays where they lift the cars and you basically kind of go underground.
Yeah.
And they're just like underground cubes.
Roots go underground. I'm not sure about that.
Well, if they're coming at us from above, as I'm grabbing like jugs of brightly colored car fluids.
Yeah,
called,
I've picked up a
Yum Car
blowtorch.
Fluids, is your taste. And all the best looking colors that look very tasty. As you're spilling them everywhere.
Strawberry red.
Yes, Mr. Buttons.
Yeah.
These. Yes, Mr. Buttons. These look like Slurpees too. I know.
Have a slurp.
These are chemicals, and I want to start splashing the roots that we can see.
Yeah.
With the chemicals.
Why don't you go ahead?
And I'm
sorry?
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna direct people to run away from the Cyclops and just run that way, like away down this street that is going away. Also, maybe shit talk the moon on your way out. He seems to not like that very much, so maybe he won't kill you. Just that way.
The moon.
Oh my god, this moon. So why don't you go ahead, roll science to try to deal with these chemicals and the roots.
Mm-hmm.
And with just dealing with people, I think you're just directing them. They're running every so often.
Yeah.
They get crushed anyways because it's like, that's my thing. It's just like grabbing someone's like, I hate the moon too. It's, how dare you? And it crushes them, not being able to share its views with other people that aren't directly connected to the root system.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind what I said. Just run that way and don't say anything.
What'd you get with your science?
For science, I got an 8.
Fantastic. So this is what happens. You just start pouring this stuff up all over these different roots that are like starting to break through different areas where you're seeing cracks, pouring this liquid like into parts that are starting to come through the ground, that kind of stuff. And you just hear this plant clops yelling out and roaring, and it starts just slamming down on the sides of this auto repair shop as it's sort of shaking, and parts of the ceiling are starting to come down on all of you in there. So what I'm gonna need is for the two of you, actually I want all four of you, please roll me a face punching roll as you two are starting to deal with the root out far away at the plant shop, and these roots are now bursting from the ground to attack you. So everyone roll me some face punching.
Got an 8.
Nice. 5,
The dice
that's what I like.
Hate me, as always.
I also got an 8.
Okay.
13.
All right. So, you are quickly running out of there, not Greta, Miri. So you are like dodging and weaving throughout all these roots after you poured all this stuff out. You see that as the person that you believe that you were to help save, they start withering, being disconnected from the root as they have become just a plant person, and they're just shrieking out at the moon, which is fair now after all these internet troubles. The rest of you though, so Greta and Amber, you are trying to get away from these roots, and Amber, you're dealing with the ceiling falling, and Greta, one of them slashes you right across the side as you take a single point of damage, and you are trying to rush out of the way, Amber, and as you do, you kind of bump in to Alyssa, who's like trying to go the same way, and you shove them down, not intentionally, you're just so strong. Oh, this barista rage. And what happens is one of the pieces of the ceiling, it clips you in the shoulders, you take a point of damage, and this very large chunk falls and it lands on one of your legs, Alyssa, as it hurts so much. You feel a bit of a crunch. It's not great as you're taking 2 points, and there's something wrong with your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And you see there's a little felt you inside the dollhouse, like with this like clay rock on them, just waggling around as you're feeling that pain.
I flip off the dollhouse, and then I pick back up the blowtorch and attempt to burn any roots that come near me.
Yes. And they are covered in chemicals.
This is true. Things are lighting up. Unfortunately,
I don't know
they're all
if
around
Alyssa's thinking
you.
this through, but she's just like... She's just pissed off, and the dollhouse isn't helping.
You definitely can see, Amber, that Alyssa is pinned to the ground, though, with this large piece of rubble.
Yeah, I'm like, fire's a good idea. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna try to barista strength that rubble off.
All right, roll that face punching.
Ooh, that's a 5. That's bad.
So you, so you start lifting it. Right, it hurts so much, Alyssa, because all that they're doing is like pushing it and rolling it. And your leg is going
Stop.
Stop. You're taking another point of damage, Alyssa. And as you're doing this, and you're twisting and moving it, one of the roots rips through the ground, and it stabs right in to your leg, Amber, as you are taking 2 points, and it's starting to drain your life force away from you.
Oh.
Meanwhile...
I'm 80% caffeine.
This plant clops outside is like, whoa, yeah, let's wreck this moon. Just super juiced up. No,
Damn moon.
the moon. So yeah, the plant clops super stoked outside, getting the caffeine buzz, yelling at the moon. And meanwhile, over at this little plant shop, we have you two. So, Greta, you just witness this person shrink and shrivel as they fall down to the ground. And you have a wound on your side as you're watching Miri do like a backflip over a bunch of roots.
Rachel will do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she doesn't really... Oh, that's such a shame. It happens to the best of us kind of mentality. But Greta's going to grab whatever Mary had, that same packaging.
I love plants, yeah.
Yeah, I love plants. And so she's gonna like kind of wobble because of her lovely cut, and she's gonna start heading back to the auto shop. And whenever she sees a root, she'll go, "Oh look!" and she'll sprinkle some, and then she'll keep walking, and then, "Oh look that!" and then kind of doing more of a attack on the outside of the perimeter.
I like
while
it.
moving inward.
Taking away its food supply. All right, so why don't you go ahead and roll me a science while you're on your way? Miri, what are you up to?
I am, I've grabbed, like, as much of this stuff as I can get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because, I mean, I really want to not run out. So, I'm going to take this stuff, and I'm kind of moving... I'm starting to move towards the... towards the source, towards the main plant.
Mm-hmm. The plant clubs, yeah.
Just battering roots, just not battering, but, throwing this stuff on roots and different parts of the plant material as I go.
Yeah. You go ahead and roll me a science as well. I have a feeling it didn't go well for Greta, though. You got a 2.
Because I'm especially aiming for parts of the plant where, that would be... in my memories of biology studies, where a plant would be most susceptible to something like that.
Right. So you go ahead, roll me a science for that, and Greta, you're sprinkling a little bit here, you're like, doing such a good job. When you look down at the bag, and you accidentally grabbed Plant Be Gone, or maybe not. It wasn't I Love Plants. As you're looking down
Oh, crap!
You have this memory of when you were in one of the occultism training classes, and there was this instructor there that's saying, listen, I know we all love plants here, but unfortunately, occultish plants, magic plants, all that kind of stuff, just kind of love eating people. And as they eat people, the cursed energy is going to grow through them, and they're going to react a little strangely. So as you are sprinkling this down, you're seeing just that. The cursed energy is reacting very strangely as it starts glowing, and like parts of these plants just start expanding rapidly, almost like a balloon, as you're surrounded on all angles by these wonderful plant balloons. And
They look pretty, at least.
You feel a giggle sort of like well up in you as your shadow just has you just appreciate the good moments of this as they all explode, and just shrapnel of bark stabs into you as you take 2 points from this.
Not laughing anymore.
Yeah, really.
And you see that, like, as the plants, like, they explode and burst into these roots, crawling out of these roots are these little tiny plant people. They have these long, bushy, leafy beards, and then, like, leaves are sticking off their heads as they're all crawling out, and they have spears and knives. And you can hear them going, We must destroy the Moon Watchers. The Moon Watchers look. What is that? And they point towards your shadow. What the hell is that?
I'm going to take. I'm gonna get out my my flare from my kit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, oh no, this isn't the right stuff. And I kind of sit it down there and then notice the blooms and then go, oh no, these things are gonna get me. So now I'm gonna get my flare out and kind of use that as a like back off to try and get out of that area.
I love it. They're definitely freaked out by this. You light the flare. They're screaming, Fire Wielder! Fire Wielder! As they're like stabbing their spears towards you, but keeping their distance. Of course, we're going to need to make you do a lovely little roll for this. What would you like to use?
Science.
All right. So you roll that. We're going to hop on over to Miri really quick. So Miri, what did you get for your roll?
13 again. dead.
Wow. All right. So yeah, you're putting it onto these plants. You're killing these different roots that were heading towards the plant shop to eat more of these plant be gone or maybe not. So you're destroying all the plants that are trying to go there to grab more fuel for the proverbial plant growth. And you look over. The Cyclops is getting pretty damn tall, though. It's probably about twice the size of when you last looked. It's looking up. Oh, we're almost there. Gonna punch the shit out of that moon. As it's just trying to eat more and more people. And now it's starting, you notice that it's not just eating people anymore. It's starting to eat the other plants, animals, really just everything in the vicinity.
Oh, crap.
So yeah, you are making your way there, and you can hear some very familiar yelling, pained yelling, I would say, of Alyssa from the auto shop. And as you hear this, and then suddenly there's a boom as these plants explode off to the side, and a flare is lit. So you have like two directions. One, you have a party member is screaming in pain, and the other one, you see there's another party member in pain with a flare.
So there's one the one that's screaming. Do I get the impression that they're actively able at this point to be taking action?
No.
Probably
it sounds
no.
like more swears than you've ever heard in your life, really.
It's impressive.
If it was a reality TV show, it would only be that censor beep for the audio.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I've picked up quite a few swears from talking to wallpaper.
It's true. Fly on a wall, never mind. The wallpaper on the wall. Ooh, what it hears.
And wrapping paper.
When a gift doesn't go well.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna start moving in towards the, Cyclops itself. Get into position.
Okay.
To do a targeted shot at it.
All right.
With a nice hefty batch of this stuff.
So you're gonna try to like hit it at the ankle, kind of like weaken its stance.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a face punching with that one? And we're gonna go back over really quick to Greta. How did that go?
I got a 10!
Hey, so you are keeping these creatures at bay as your blood drips down onto the ground. Large pieces of bark are sticking out of you, but you know you still have a bit of a giggle as you're pushing them back, and you're able to escape the tiny leafy people for now. Are you heading also towards the screams?
Yes.
All right.
Slowly, but I am, yes.
So you're dragging yourself over as we go over into this wonderful out-of-body shot. There's people going, I don't think you're really helping your friend there, as they're like hacking away with their tools at these roots that are coming through the ceiling.
And I'm still pinned to the ground.
Yeah.
I do have a crazy idea, because this haunted dollhouse is reenacting what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, pick up the blowtorch and, like, point it towards the felt roots in the dollhouse to see if I can have it impact what's actually going on. This is the first time I've ever interacted with the dollhouse other than ignoring it, but I'm like, I don't care at this point. Fuck it, I'm gonna try it.
All right, roll for your cursed item.
I have a 0 in my cursed item, so...
Love it.
And that was a 2.
What? How many hit points do you have left?
We start with 5, right?
That's right, yeah.
Cool, I have
Plus
2
your
left.
face punching.
So you...
Oh, plus face punching. I forgot to add that. So I still have 5.
Oh, okay. You have 5 still remaining.
Because I've lost 3, but I had 3 for face punching.
Fantastic. All right, so you go to point this at the roots, and you're in so much pain. It's hard. Your hand slips. You point it down, and you light on fire. As you feel the heat from the flames. Amber, you're looking over, like watching, just kind of like waiting to see, is this going to work? Did we just save the day? And then Alyssa just bursts into flames for another 2 points. So now you are pinned to the ground and currently on fire in a room where you've been throwing around a ton of flaming chemicals.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will spread.
It is catching some of the stuff that's been sprayed around, which is good. Amber, though, you do have a root sticking out of your side.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, get him, Alyssa. I look down at my leg. Oh, gross. I look down at the root in my leg, and I'm like, my Zilla does not have enough room for 2. And I want to try to get it. I want to use, like, Teddy's, Mr. Button's influence to, like, force it out.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and roll for your cursed item.
Ooh. Cursed items plus, that's a 14.
All right, because if you're
Nice.
going to fail this, Teddy was going to go saying that your leg was holding you back and get rid of it. So you look
Flash
down.
is weak.
You feel this ursine strength flow through your body. This rage and bloodlust and violence is going through. You grab onto this root. You feel it creaking and breaking onto your hand as you pull it out of your leg. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. You are still taking 1 point from removing this, but you rip it out of you as it was trying. You see this, there's tiny little root systems that it was trying to spread through your leg. And you pull it out and you look at it, and just for a moment, the Cyclops outside is like, yeah! And you hear, oh, what the fuck was that? As the other effect of Mr. Buttons is fear. So the fear has transferred through just for a moment to scare the plant clops.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you didn't like that, did you? And I'm holding this big root, and I want to shove it into the fire that Alyssa has started.
You mean
The fire that is Alyssa.
That Alyssa is the fire.
So, roasting it over the open Alyssa flames.
Hands it here!
So yeah, you bring it over there, and you can feel Mr. Buttons trying to take over you, to like drive the root into Alyssa or kill these few people that are stuck in here with you. But you push them to the side as you bring this root onto there, and the flames are just hungrily biting into it. And you let go of it because you yourself don't want to be on fire. You probably have a lot of the chemicals on your hands when you're spraying it around, so you quickly drop it. Excuse me, and the flame is starting to eat up this root. And the plant
I grab onto that and I
Cook
don't
Cyclops.
let go. I'm like, you're gonna accomplish something, damn it!
and you see it, this little reenactment's happening in the dollhouse.
Do I notice any reaction from the plant clops?
The plant clops is yelling outside.
I was just
Okay.
about to call it that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, all right, hypothesis confirmed. And I'm going to kick that flaming root away. And we're in an auto shop, which is very dangerous. So I assume there are little fire extinguishers around.
Yes.
I would like to extinguish Alyssa because I hope the fire has spread from them.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I've been on fire for a minute.
Roll
Yeah.
that science.
Science. Ooh, that's a 12.
All right, it's not expired. It's good. So you are putting the flames of Alyssa out. Oh, the moon! Moon coming after me just because I'm putting out the fire. So you put out the fire that is Alyssa. And Alyssa, you are the embodiment of pain. There is pain everywhere. It's
Ow.
not great. And outside, meanwhile, Greta and Miri, you two are coming up to the shop. The plant clops is outside, and it looks down at the two of you, and it seems just agitated, angry, in pain.
So on that science you asked me to roll, I got a 2.
Perfect. So it looks down as you get this stuff ready. You pull it back. You still have the flare, Greta. So what I need you to do is make me a face punch to see if you can get the hell out of the way.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. That's an 11.
All right. So you drop the flare and roll out of the way in classic office way. Yeah, just getting out of the way of the moving printer, and you dive behind this bench as Miri, you pull this very explosive I love plants chemical back, and it hits this open flare, and then this just ignition happens as you are blasted towards the plant clops, and you are taking 2 points of harm from this. And the plant clops is looking down at you as you're just like you're singed, your hands hurt a lot, you're probably missing a finger.
You know what?
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm trying to think, did I see what happened with the dollhouse at all?
No, that would be inside a building.
Yeah, so I missed that. Okay.
But you do still have your own item.
Nothing useful happened with the dollhouse. It's just been making fun of my pain.
But I'm thinking, this thing could be useful for something. And I'm going to pull it out and a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Writes like dire predictions, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm going to attempt to basically write something to the effect of the plant clops withers and, and shrivels up into nothingness.
So you take this bloody pen, and it stabs into your hand using some of your blood to write as you begin to write down on there. And roll me to use your cursed item.
All right. My cursed item is one of my better stats, so here we go. 14!
All right. So you start using your blood as you take 1 point of damage, and you're writing in this. You feel a little bit cold, and you start writing about this giant plant clops withering. And you watch as one of its hands that is like reaching in to this auto body shop begins to turn a little gray, as it looks like it's affecting it.
I'm going to keep on writing.
All right, Greta, what are you up to? You just sort of dived out of the way of an explosion. Always the best option.
Always the best option. So I'm going to get up and kind of dust myself off, which includes taking a few splinters out. What can I see from my view of the auto shop?
So
can I see
inside the auto shop, you see a very, very burned Alyssa currently being sprayed with a fire extinguisher. You see Amber's in there with a bloody leg, and you see the teddy bear is almost like wrapped around Amber's neck at the moment, like whispering into their ear. And you do see the dollhouse has a little fire inside of it that is slowly being sizzled out.
Okay, so everyone's doing fine over there.
I'm still pinned to the ground.
100% you're still pinned. That rock has not been moved.
I am going to start approaching a larger section of the plant clops in order to use my laughing shadow against it.
Oh, okay.
Because this guy's not having fun.
No.
And he's making things for everyone else around here not fun either. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I've gotten to the point where I really just can't do it. This is out of my hands now. I need to go to upper management.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to approach it, and I'm going to use that flashlight, the military-grade flashlight.
Yep.
To really just kind of prop it up somewhere and turn it on. That way the shadow's nice and big to get to that Cyclops.
I like it. All right, why don't you go ahead, roll me that, and let's see what happens.
Cursed item?
Yep.
Oh, I thought that was 1. 7, 8, 9.
All right, 9. I believe that is not so bad. So you are accomplishing this mission. You turn on your flashlight. It's a little bright, and the shadow expands. it goes to this plant clops, who begins laughing, just this booming laughter, as it just echoes across the area. It's no longer cursing the moon, as it should be, and, its one hand is withering as you see quickly Miri is writing down, and as you're doing this, you suddenly feel a sharp pain in your leg. As you look down, and it's one of the little plant people. They stab their spear in there. That's what you get for using fire! Who does that? It's like a psychopath! And they're stabbing right into you, and they just keep stabbing.
It's not anywhere near my shadow by chance. Can I move my leg to capture it with my shadow?
You could try, 100%. Or, if you even want to give a little bit more of you to your shadow, there's always that option.
I'm gonna deal with the little guy poking me. Did that take a hit point by any chance?
It did, yes.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of move my leg so he gets captured with it.
All right. This isn't too hard. You're just kind of like shuffling around. So I think you could easily just capture them as they're laughing maniacally, and they have like that. They leave their spear in your leg as they're rolling around in the ground. Meanwhile, the fire extinguisher, you're spraying it, and it finally finishes. You throw it off to the side. You're covered in this like foam as you're staring up at Amber, and your leg is still pinned. And you see the way that your boot is sticking out from under the rock. It's not right. It's not the right direction.
The one time I actually prefer looking at the dollhouse is when I don't have to look at that.
Yeah.
So, you said we could, give some of ourselves to our cursed item. Does that improve our score in that cursed item?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm kind of... It feels like I'm in hell right now, so I think I'm gonna look over and try and make a deal with the dollhouse. Give it my ability to feel pain if it'll mess with the Cyclops next.
Alrighty, I like this idea. So you're gonna gift your pain to the dollhouse.
Yes.
What are you at right
Gift
now?
my ability to feel pain.
You have 3 hit points?
Yeah, I have 3 hit points.
Okay. So
I started out with 8. I'm not doing very long.
I will no longer tell you when you are taking damage. I will keep track of that for you.
It's fine.
And so you feel this pain leave your body as the dollhouse starts to shift and grow a little bit. You see, instead of these just sort of weird felt objects in there, it becomes these little claymation sort of objects now that are moving around in there as it's growing in power. And it just feels so nice. All the pain leaves your body at once. You just sort of relax a little bit. All your muscles were so tensed up you didn't even realize that one pain in your upper back that you get from sitting at the computer for too long, that's gone too. It's just all gone.
Yeah. That was a good idea. Just reach over, turn the dollhouse around, face it in the Cyclops. Go fuck with him now.
All right, why don't you roll me to use your cursed object, and you can add a +2.
Yay. Dice, please. That's 5.
Oh, I love it so much.
On the die?
So you look...
I rolled a 3.
Amber, this is what you see.
Yeah.
The dollhouse is just out of reach of Alyssa. Alyssa pulls herself towards it, and you hear the ripping of flesh as that leg becomes detached. And Alyssa just crawls on over and turns the dollhouse, and there is blood flowing, and points it towards the Cyclops. And Alyssa, you feel a little cold. It's not painful. It's just a little chilly. But you did it. You moved the dollhouse.
Yeah, she's still just delirious from the fact that everything isn't hurting anymore. It's fine.
Yeah. Amber, you're seeing this right now, and the dollhouse is starting to create a little plasticine model of this plant clops.
Okay. So that's doing something. You said it had reached down, like close to the auto body shop,
Yeah.
and had like that arm kind of turned gray. So I'm assuming that arm is like slower
Yeah.
now. Yeah. I want to sprint and run up the arm, and I want to try to get something in his eye.
Oh.
So, because that'll at least slow it down.
His known weakness, I see you're going for.
Known weakness. So I think I take out my very large Bowie knife that every barista has on shift.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let's do it, Mr. Buttons. And I'm gonna try to run that. But I want that extra oomph behind it because I know this is all Mr. Buttons wants. All he wants is violence. So I want to I want to let him out a little bit.
What are you going to give to Mr. Buttons?
Oh. I'll give Mr. Buttons my I used to be a barista. My ability to tell the beans apart by smell.
Oh my god. This is kind of an integral part of who you are.
Yeah.
So you feel this sense leaving, and what everyone else can see, what you're not noticing, is your nose turns into like a bear nose. As you give more of you over to Mr. Buttons. And you hear this, "That's it. Correct. Give yourself over to the violence." And you start just anime running up this arm. Go ahead, roll me a face punch, add another 2 to it, and you can go ahead and remove 1 hit point, as part of your body did just... It's not yours anymore.
Did change. Doesn't belong to me anymore. Ooh. Okay, not so bad. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a 12.
All right.
7 plus 5.
So you are running up this arm. You have this knife, this barista knife, and you take it and stab it into the plant clops. The plant clops couldn't defend itself. Its arm was withered. It's laughing hysterically. It now is being like somewhat animated and controlled by this dollhouse. The perfect moment. You stab this knife into its eye, and just for a moment you get this flash. You're not here in the battlefield of idyllic town. You instead are outside, a nice wooded glade, looking around. You hear the sounds of large vehicles, a chainsaw. You rush over and see Moon Logging Company, as they're just cutting down the trees, your beloved trees. You spent your entire life planting trees in this area, spacing them apart because it's important. You can't just drop all the seeds and plant everything too close together. That doesn't help the undergrowth. So you are watching as they're just clear cutting all of the trees, the anger, the rage, everything filling you. You feel the plants calling to you, and you let them in. As your strength grows, your eyes merge together. You feel your skull crack and break as it's reforming, and you rush forward, killing all these workers of the moon. And you just see blood splatters again and again on this Moon Logging Company as your eco-terrorism takes over. And huzzah, by the way. Huzzah for plant clops. But we go back to you. You're stabbing this knife in its one eye and just ripping it out as you feel Mr. Buttons working through you. And you start to feel a bit of a giggle. Please roll me an occultism.
Oh no, your shadow's really big.
Sure is. This is the shadows realm now.
That's a 7.
So what's happening right now is you're trying to stifle the laughter so that you can continue breathing, as many humans enjoy. Yes. But you're concentrating that right now, so you can't keep stabbing the Cyclops. So you have messed its eye up nonetheless. So its vision is wrecked. And we go over to Miri and Greta. The two of you are I guess dealing with your own kind of situations right now. You're currently writing in blood, Miri, and you're feeling a little off. And Greta, you've been hurt by everything under the sun so far, kind of like Alyssa, just in a different realm. And this little plant person's laughing underneath you, and you feel just the drain on your person as you're keeping this shadow going. What would you two like to do?
Mary, go first.
Miri is now writing the basically the destruction of this thing, and I'm trying to remember if I've seen any of these plant people so far.
I think you can see them. They're scurrying around. Some of them are laughing in the shadows because they tried to go over to help and they just started laughing.
I think at this point too, I'm trying to write, that the people are returned to themselves.
Okay, so the people who've been ripped apart, you want them to reform?
Basically, or I'm basically trying to write that the fuel is actually, I think, because there's probably not a lot that can be done for the ones that have been eaten. But
also, that would be extremely traumatizing if they got knit back together after being ripped apart.
So I think at this point I am actually writing. I think at this point that the eye, most specifically the eye, is withering to nothing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me for your cursed item, and you're taking another point of damage as you're using your blood to do it.
Yes. So that's the cursed item stat.
Yep.
Straight, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Apparently not. 6.
All right, so you are writing in your blood. It's using some of it, and you watch as your hand is aging. You're all the way up your arm. You see your arm has become that of an elderly person. The skin, you have age spots all over it. It's very frail. You're having a hard time holding on to the pen with that hand. And you are taking... How much hit points do you have?
Time to switch hands. I have 3 left.
That's one hell of a hand cramp. All right, so you are down... you have 2 hit points left. As it is draining your life force from you. And you gotta switch hands. Yeah, this one's cramped up. Meanwhile, Greta, you feel this shadow is taking a lot out of you. And you can look up and see Amber's kind of stifling a laugh. And when you look through the window, because you didn't really move from when you were looking through the window, Alyssa is sprawled out, and there's a large pool of blood around her. You could see vaguely, it looks like she's flipping off the dollhouse.
I think I've done my job of just giving it a moment. So I'm gonna turn up. I'm gonna turn up for what? I'm gonna go and turn off the flashlight and just kind of kick the little guy who's probably wait, what? Just gonna get him out of the way. And I'm gonna head inside to get, I guess, closer to the scene.
Okay. So you start moving towards, and there are still, now that the laughter has been quelled, the plant clops start screaming. Because for one, you wrecked its arm, then you stabbed it in the eye. It's feeling a lot of pain. It just couldn't react because it was laughing so hard. It puts a hand up to its eye, and you're up there, Amber, but you are released from the laughter as well. So you kind of have your senses coming back to you, and in a last-ditch attempt, you see the plant clop stabs its hand into its own chest and rips out a number of these squirming branches and roots and everything, and slams them down into the ground as they just sort of ripple through. And while this is all happening, Amber, please make me a face punch so you don't fall to your...
Yeah. Oh, am I still full of bear power, or did I use that for the stab?
You use that for the stab.
Oh, okay, cool. That's a 6.
So it's difficult when there's a lot of actions going on. You first get out of the way of when it reached for its face, and you're on the shoulder, and then when it stabbed in, there was so much of like a jolt of movement. You just go flying, and you hit the ground hard. As I described, this creature had grown twice the size that it had before, so you were a ways up. So you're falling about like 2.5, 3 stories. And once again, you are a person, but hey, Mr. Buttons is here. How much hit points do you have?
I have 4.
All right, you're down to 2, but
Okay.
as you're falling, Mr. Buttons expands into one of those big carnival prize bears,
Yes.
and you hit there, and it's nice that happened. But then like the plant clops stepped back and like stepped on the two of you, and then like and then like kept like walking backwards, and then like slams the roots into the ground. So you got like squished into Mr. Buttons and popped back out. You, that son of a bitch. So it shrinks back down to little bear form.
He really is the worst.
And these roots are heading outwards. Now, I want all of you... Oh. Can Alyssa do anything? You know what, Alyssa? You got a minus...
Alyssa has another harebrained idea.
I love it, because these roots are coming for all of you, so...
I think she's gonna, like, turn to see that the plant monster is in there, and she'll say, I don't care what you do to me, just let me kill this thing. And she's gonna attempt to grab the plant monster doll.
Ooh, I like it. Go ahead. And you know what? Just tell me, what is it that you want to do? You just, like, want to squish the claymation plant monster?
But the day she said she kind of wants to, like, rip it to a couple pieces and have it impact the plant clops.
So you reach your hand into the dollhouse, which you've never done. You've never
No.
tried to touch the dollhouse, aside from trying to light it on fire. You've never tried to interact with it, aside from snide remarks. You're now reaching your hand in, and it is ice cold when you do this. When you grab on, you start trying to, like, tear pieces off of this plant clops. You look down, and you're in the dollhouse. You're looking around. There's pieces of this plant clops you clearly ripped off. You've definitely heard it quite a bit. And you see this little clay version of you walks out to where you are. And you look down, and you have both your legs. When you reach a hand up, it reaches a hand up. And when your hands touch, the clay merges over yours and consumes you as you're staring out of little clay Alyssa's eyes, forever aware, but unable to act, as you have become a part of the dollhouse. Meanwhile, outside, giant chunks start getting ripped.
I fully expected that to happen. I'm fully 100%. She's fine with this. Things don't hurt anymore, and dollhouses tend to be put near the wall, so she can still talk to the wallpaper.
There you go. Parts of this plant clops are suddenly just ripped off out of nowhere. It's still alive, but like just parts are just flinging every which way, smashing into buildings, crushing a car. And I need a face punching from our remaining surviving agents.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
5, nice.
Face punching, huh?
I got a 9.
Okay.
Face punching is not my strong suit, but let's see what happens. It's not my worst thing, but 5.
All right. Oh no. Okay. So
That's not a good thing.
let's go around the table and see what the hit points are at right now. Greta, how much you got?
2.
2, and you failed the roll. Okay. Miri, how many hit points do you have?
I believe I had 2 as well.
Okay, and you also failed. And Amber,
Also have 2.
but you got a partial success? Okay. This is what happens. So these roots stab into the ground, and you're quickly running through this area, Greta, trying to get closer to the plant, trying to get closer to everything, and the root rips out of the ground behind you, and you see it. You see it in time, and the shadow just sort of like wraps around you as like you grab onto the root. You feel this strength, this laughter, this madness sort of coursing through you. You push the root off to the side as it smashes through the building, and the shadow leaves your body as you're standing there once more. It's just you when you feel a few little darts hit your neck. You reach up, and there's little drops of blood. Those little plant people are there. Mm-hmm. You feel a little shaky, woozy, as you fall to your knees, and everything's just getting bigger around you. No, you're shrinking. You're shrinking and shrinking, and little leaves are popping out of your head. Your skin is changing to this green as you look down at your hands, and your clothes are becoming like made out of grass, and an immense hatred for the moon fills your body as you've become a member of the plant folk. And you pick up a spear and charge into battle. Meanwhile, Miri, you are scribbling down like mad, and you go to reach in for another piece of paper, and you're out. Like, that's fine, I can write on the back of one of the pieces of paper. So you go to grab one of the other pieces of paper, and you grab on with like your old person arm, and the root rips out.
I'll write on my freaking shirt if I have to.
It grabs onto your arm and just pulls it off as you're armless for a moment. The blood is spraying out. You're looking for your pen. There's so much ink now. What a perfect opportunity. As you're getting so cold, you grab onto the pen. Your hand is shaking. The pen starts moving on its own as it writes, "Miri bled out in idyllic town just outside the auto shop." As your hand lets go of this pen, Amber, you get another piece of this root stab into your side, and you rip it out. You are barely standing. This Cyclops is literally, chunks of it have been ripped out. Its eye has been destroyed. Its arm is caved in. There's a giant hole in its chest, and inside the chest you see there is this older man in this fetal position, roots all around him, and he's glowing this soft red. And you're holding onto your barista knife, and you hear in your ear, "You can't do this. You're too tired. Let me do this. They have to die after all."
How about we do this? And since we're at a auto body shop, is there a car?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's cars.
Yeah, I want to jump in a car and just crank it and just drive into the plant clubs.
I love it. Roll me a face punching for this one. Just to, This is more to see if you survive.
Oh, that's a 13.
All right, so you just drive this car, and as you grab onto
somebody made it.
Stick shift, you pull it, and then you just hear this voice whispering, and "We live life 1/4 mile at a time, because here we don't have friends, it's just family." And you drive forward with the feeling of family fueling your car as it just goes up this arm that's just been rotted, and it's almost making this perfect ramp, and you just spin the wheel as the car just does this weird corkscrew. This is Fast and the Furious logic. I don't need to hear any people who are like, "Well, actually, what would happen?" No, this car, using the power of friendship, using the power of family, it's got so much Olive Garden in it, it spins forward, smashing through this elderly man inside this, who's just a poor old eco-terrorist, and it smashes through there. His old person's flying everywhere, rips him apart completely, and then the car lands perfectly, and you squeal, turning it to the side as you stop. The plant clops immediately becomes gray all over as it just starts decaying and falling apart. The little plant people scatter off to the underground, where they shall reformulate their plans. And you're sitting in this car, Amber. There's so much blood. You're leaning back. And the station wagon comes puttering around the side. Okay. Hey, so one of you is still alive? You think anyone can give me a tune-up now?
And I look over to the auto body shop that's on fire and
It just
crushed.
collapses
and,
inward.
and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna work out today.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even want it anyways. I love pain. Get on in. I'll take you back to the agency.
Alright, yeah, I think I'm like, Mr. Buttons, I think I need to use some of my PTO, finally.
That's fine. This was a great vacation for me. And you reach up and you feel that stuffed bear nose.
And I'm a conscientious barista, so I just put on my little face mask.
And drive away back to the agency. Congratulations! You destroyed the first cursed entity. We almost had a TPK. That's how these games go. How lovely, how wonderful. But the game's not over here because you get to make it worse for the next group.
Ooh.
That's right. That's one of the best parts of this game is you make it more difficult for players to come. And what's going to be happening is at the end of each of these games, it is just going to keep accumulating and getting worse because it's building up to something. So, what you all get to do is each of you get to add something. Now, this could be a fun new ability for whatever it is that they're going to encounter. You could bring in something that happened here and have it happen there, like the little plant people can arrive again, causing problems. You can make their cursed items more hungry, that kind of stuff. But let's just go around, come up with whatever you like. You know, there's only fun options from here. This isn't going to affect anything.
I'm definitely gonna have bring back my newfound self of the plant people. I think even though I'm still mad at the moon, I'm going to bring my former usage of cursed filing cabinets, my knowledge of cursed items, and kind of change the direction of the plant people. We like plants. We hate the moon. What else do we need to worry about?
It doesn't stop at the moon.
It doesn't stop at the moon, no.
Not just the moon.
And there's fire. Don't forget about fire.
That's right. I like it.
So I personally...
I think that's one reason why they might pop up later.
I kind of want the dollhouse to become like the Goose the Untitled Goose game where it just like shows up randomly and steals shit and then runs away.
Oh, I like it. Dollhouse
Shows up, causes problems.
keeps appearing and stealing shit. That is important.
It also wants to steal people. Occasionally it'll steal bodies because sometimes you need like props for the horrifying things it reenacts.
Love it. I love this. All right, that's definitely going to be these are two thorns in the next player's sides.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
What would you like, Taryn and Jess?
I feel like the moon is actually a threat that we haven't uncovered yet.
Are we gonna have to kill the moon?
You know what? That might be the final bad. I like it already. It's where this is going.
I think that too. Some of the I think that some of the plant people are going to find ways to possess cars.
Oh, they start taking over technology, yeah. Plant people taking over cars. Because cars can run over fire. I like it. All right, so with the next group, just to go over all of that, the next group will be dealing not only with their entire situation, like what you were dealing with, plus all their cursed items, but the plant people with their cursed filing cabinet knowledge are going to be bringing in further hatred towards things like fire and be showing up, causing problems. The dollhouse is going to be showing up, stealing items, bodies, people. And the moon actually is a threat, and it's probably going to be the big bad. We're going to deal with Lunarians. And the plant people have learned to take over vehicles.
Yeah.
You're
Fun
welcome,
stuff.
guys.
Yeah, fun.
High
Yay.
Hooray! I'm happy to hear. I'm sure everyone else is really going to love this. The next group's excited already, I can tell.
Yeah.
Also, the whispering from the dollhouse. Don't worry about it. That's just Alyssa talking to the walls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope you all had
Learning
fun.
all of your secrets.
So much fun.
This is always a blast, and the moon finally gave up trying to ruin the internet. I'm going to be doing a lot of splicing tomorrow morning, putting this together into one coherent video for YouTube.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a blast.
Yeah, always so much fun. I also just realized that I have a YouTube thing that I've forgotten to update for the past several weeks. I'm like, cool, I guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Catch up.
It's a joy. But let's go around the table.
That's a
Everyone
word for it.
can give any recommendations they have, promote any projects they're in, all that kind of good stuff. Tell them where you can find you. So let's go ahead and start off with Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brianna Jean. You can see me doing hear me, I mostly do podcast stuff, doing all the stuff over at Pseudonym Social, which is currently running Aboard the Opal Star, Tempest Multi, Beyond to the Crumbling Veil, Pseudonym Solo Adventures, which is my little anthology show. Got Rise and Fall of Gods, but that's not coming out until the spring. I also am the producer for Game Woven, which is we're building a world one game at a time, and it is absolutely bonkers. So much fun. The shit we make up is ridiculous. Producer for the Graveyard Tapes and the Mask side story with that, Queen City Supers, which I regularly kidnap Jess for. And give her character all of the anxiety. It's great.
Jess.
Yes, I am Jess. I am art fantastical all across the internets. You can usually find me here on the Ballad of the Seven Dice. Earlier this year, we completed our very long campaign, Rise of Nyarlathotep. So if you thought this was zany, we've got a lot of episodes of even weirder stuff. Did you like Kyle? You won't. So if you want more of that,
What?
check out Rise of Nyarlathotep. Check out our Patreon. We've got so much extra goodies for all the hard work Lucas does. Escaping Carcosa, which you could talk about. But yeah, I'm on the lovely Queen City Supers with Brianna Jean. It's very fun. Play a very, very anxious speedster. And yeah, that's what I'm working
It's
on right
definitely
now.
not haunted. It's fine.
Not haunted.
Definitely
Totally
not
not haunted. Not at all.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Jess has no idea. I know the truth, but Jess has no idea.
Just not haunted.
Boy.
Taryn.
Okay, well, I'm Taryn. I am Taryn Van E on both Discord and Mastodon. I also have a sporadic presence on Twitch. I do gaming streams and videos centered around gaming without seeing. And so I call it No Eyes Needed. I play different games, both mobile, PC, etc. And that's Taryn Van E. And I also have a SoundCloud that's Terrence Van E. Terrence spelled with all E's. And I do little musical clips and things over there as well. I am also working on a podcast with a group called End of Plays that plays through several different games. We're still in production now, but hoping to have that out for too long.
And Natalie.
This is my first go at doing online things, so I have no presence online. But I would like to recommend asking your friend, a weird friend, and preferably, what podcasts to listen to, what videos to listen to, because that is how I found out about the Ballad of the Seven Dice, how I fell in love with Rise, and that's how I ended up here. So ask your friends for some podcasts or streaming recommendations.
There's one thing people love recommending. It is definitely podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining along for our first episode. I'm sorry the moon tried to attack us so much, but you know what? We made it through it. We showed that moon that we're not taking this lying down. And now the moon's a big bad. And yes, as mentioned before, I am one of the GMs for Escaping Carcosa. It is a 2-group campaign. We have one group is playing a Call of Cthulhu 7e game where they are in 2050 Seattle trying to break players out of a VR MMO where they're all trapped in, where they are dying. And the other group is a Pathfinder 2e game that I am GMing, and they are the players who are trapped inside the game and they are dying. And it is all sorts of chaos. I have the audio version, which is available on our podcast feed for Ballad of the Seven Dice. We also have a video version, which is like a light novel. Not light novel, that's an actual word. Visual novel, that's the word. It's like a visual novel where I drop a bunch of like art and all that kind of stuff. Just recently with our combat, I've started using a bunch of like chibi art and having more of like a Final Fantasy-esque sort of battle situation where they're fighting off and using video effects and all that kind of stuff. So check it out. A lot of hard work put into that, and it is an absolute pleasure though to make, and it's a joy seeing people enjoy it so much. So, yes, this has been a pleasure. We have completed our first episode of Lost Tower. Make sure to check out everyone else's projects, of course. And we will be back next week with episode 2 to see where the new batch of agents go and what terrors befall them. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.